Hang on.
Ever heard the phrase from sea to sunshine?
Tomorrow we're gonna try habits.
Is it North Korea that did that parade where the dudes all had Barretts? Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't seen it.
Dude, literally, we'll look it up. Put the image on here. It's like
G-Man, you're right here. G-Man's here. Guys, G-Man's here. Our editor is here.
it's literally an entire rows and rows of dudes, and they all have freaking 50 cal Barretts.
Those are like 40 pounds of beast.
Dude, I carry, yeah, dude, I carried one of those. It's like this thing weighs 1 million pounds.
We're gonna have an episode next week or next weekish with this.
Yeah, Barretts, they just carry Barretts. No, literally, Barretts on the chest. There's like hundreds of them. I don't know. Like,
It doesn't
I just remember
feel
seeing that and going like, that's not much parades.
It's
That's
like
some communist shit.
well, like it's like the dudes who you ever see the ones right before they invaded or attempted to invade Ukraine? They ran out of gas 50 miles in. But anyways, when Russia went before they invaded, yeah, fucking logistics, man. Just so like they were doing backflips and like throwing axes, and I was like, that's cool. You're still gonna get shot from 1,200 yards away. Like I don't know what you want there.
9-year-old that looked like he was 40 that smoked 3 packs of Marlboro Reds a day named Schmitty. I'll take that dude versus 100 of them.
Let me introduce you to something. Here's a legitimate question. Why?
Hold on. I just done a commercial and like fucking I'm on it over here. Or fucking bro, he had the 240 gun has got the he rests both arms on his
Oh yeah.
He had the OG brown birth control glasses
oh, yeah.
and just fucking a cigarette in each hand over the 240 while we're walking through the woods just all day like yeah. You know you're gonna be I got that guy.
Fuck shit. But that's my question. Why are all Schmitties the same guy?
You know what I mean?
It's 100%
It's like your name's Schmitty. You're him. It's like a template. Do we have enough of the Schmitty template? Yeah. They're like, wait a minute. How are we doing on skis? Oh, we're good on skis today. It's the same guy everywhere. Turn it up. Always the same guy.
Like a fucking whiskey alphabet as we called you.
It's always the same. It's just like a assembly line of soldiers.
You do meet doppelgangers everywhere you fucking go. I'm waiting for the one I run into. Probably some PFC with a smoking habit who just doesn't give a fuck about the military. But you know, here's the thing. Listen to
You'll
this.
never
Listen
find
to
him.
this. Listen. Every good NCO knows how to leverage the mafia. Every single fucking one of them. Every bad NCO tries to control the mafia. Every good one's like, look, I'm missing all this BII. I'm gonna go home as soon as I find it. That shit'll be there. Hold on, I know the mafia's hiding spots. They ain't all hidden. Just get me the mafia and put in the shower.
That technique works. I had the laziest dude. Here's how lazy this guy was. Spotswood. That's his name. Spotswood. Spotswood was so lazy. Would you have to wake up at like? I mean, formation was like 6:30 at that time. He would literally wake up and pull from underneath his bed a little tray of water and his toothbrush, so he could brush his teeth in bed. He was that guy. That's how lazy he was.
You sound like private. I had my bed made, and I slept with my sleeping bag, so I didn't have to.
I did the same.
Boot blouses underneath to hold the bed taut, so you didn't have to tuck shit in every morning.
I made my bed once in basic training, 100% sure.
Same thing.
Yeah, I got yelled at by girls. Like, well, when I saw like that system, I'm like, why don't we just do it this way? Yeah, it's like the poncho liner, dude, greatest thing ever made.
Oh god.
But anyways, we just finally what we supposed to do with this guy. Finally figured out. Hey, Spotswood, here's a list. When you do all these things, you're off. I don't care if it's new. Dude, that guy would get off by like 11 noon every day. It was the most perfect tactic ever. It's just how you deal with those things.
I'm telling you, you gotta use that mafia. You gotta leverage the mafia the right way, right? You treat the mafia right. You obviously hold them accountable when you need to, but like when shit, hey, my lieutenant's missing half the BIs and they're hungry. Shoot, the sooner it shows up, the sooner y'all go home. You'll have extra shit. They're like, why do I have a great operating handle for an Abrams main battle tank? Fucking it's yours now, man. Like, just leave the shit alone. I'm telling you, mafia, if you know how to leverage the mafia, you can get shit done.
You think this is to a striker?
Just
Roger, makes on.
Right now. Yep.
On the store. It's like, man, good to go. Habitual. What are you working on right now? You have been crushing content. I had a blast doing my Asian accent with you. I love that you were the first person you're like, man, fuck it. I'm gonna just do every accent.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna care.
Oh,
And no one fucking you treat it
I
like
really-
South Park. You're like, fuck it, I'm gonna just go full send. You can't. You're not knocking on any country specifically. You're just generalizing.
exactly. And I lucked out. Originally, I was like, I'm not going to do these things. And someone commented, they're like, oh, you only do white countries' accents. And I was like, okay, so we will talk like a Japanese guy, you know? Like this. I just throw it all out there. Yeah.
And factory registration is my favorite culture.
I haven't done the L's to R's yet, though. I'm trying to avoid that.
No,
Like that.
One day.
The fat erectorship. Yeah, I haven't done that yet. So I was like,
Where's my table?
Wait a minute, you're not white.
No.
There you go.
Man, I get this.
Yeah, you're good.
for me, honestly, the wars that are kind of like popping across the world are keeping me pretty occupied. Like, there's always, I watch the news and then I'll see someone like, I can make fun of that. That's really all I do is just, I can make fun of it. And, politicians in Washington really help out a lot. But I don't use their face. I just use Washington, D.C. to make the joke, and that's how I get away with it.
That's why I love you. Asked me on the last video. You were like, hey, can you do the Chinese people? I was like, yeah. Totally, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, here you go.
I got a
Can you
video
do
of
Taiwan too? I was like, yeah, I think so. It worked automatically.
Oh, man, that video crushed. And you know what's crazy is that so many people knew it was you.
Which is ridiculous.
They
you know,
knew.
like, Asian accent to that degree. So, like, I thought that was Eli, and then I seen who was Tiger. Like, that's fucking weird.
Bro, they knew immediately it was you. I'm gonna make him a battleship. Don't worry, we're gonna make him a battleship before the U.S. Oh yeah, I got some ideas, some plans. A big whiskey, so
The proper way. The big.
That's
What was talking about right now? We're trying to do a range and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You've been super helpful in everything. Like, the first time you came out, it was an awesome experience watching your, like, dude, how fired up you got. Like, for you, like, everyone, when they come to King Out, it's awesome watching the motivation. Now your long form is fucking slick,
Bro,
which is
honestly,
awesome.
you helped me out a ton with that. You've just been super helpful with everything I've needed. Where I ask questions about this, setting that, saying. But for right now, so I was really diving into the air defense systems, and I feel like I've run into almost a finite amount of air defense systems. So now I'm kind of segueing into. I did one recently, and we're going to see how lists work out well for me. You know, top 5 this, top 5 that. So I don't have anything in the pipe right this second. I'm actually, my wife, before I got on the plane this morning, she's like, you need to think of your next long form, because I didn't have anything stuck in my brain yet. She's like, you need to figure it out. Okay. So while I'm here, I'll get something. I'm not sure what yet. But we'll figure it out.
It's just like motivating off of each other.
Oh, yeah.
It is. I mean, what, like, man, you came down, the second you came down, you're like, I need to do long form. And then immediately your first long form came out and you absolutely slayed it. And yeah. Now you're fucking growing at a stupid rate. When you have Cody and Brandon, and I'm going to quote this, it's going to be bigger than all of us. That is what they say every
I
fucking
love the way
time.
he tells these stories, man. Like, that's why, like, I'm handing you the Loop North Bridge. I'm handing you Operation Anaconda. Like, I just want to give this shit to you because, like, don't get me wrong, I'm a missile nerd. I like missiles, want to learn about intercept dynamics and fucking radar ducting and shit like that. Yeah, I got you, not a problem. But, like, the way you tell how history happened, I fucking love that shit.
Anaconda and Robert's Ridge, obviously it's the industry I work on. The other interesting thing about them is there hasn't been movies made about them.
No.
That's virgin content. I say virgin.
No,
That's the line. Talk about
That content got fucked.
Unfucked content.
There we go.
Yeah. Unfucked content. Filthy version.
Hollywood.
You can't say other words synonymous with vagina. Clunge. Because I heard that from a Scot and it's fucking hilarious.
You say
Clunge. That sounds so dirty, doesn't it?
It
The
does.
clunge.
It actually sounds worse than
Sounds
the
like
other.
Babe, show me your
boss
clutch.
Well, wait, can you say
Babe, can you rub your clutch for me here?
Can you say it?
I want to get up in that clutch. Savannah's looking about it. Shut the fuck up. I am so dry right now. I'm gonna burn.
What if we merge in 10 go? Hey girl, you want to take a plunge? It's like a plunge.
Big difference.
Together. I'll work on it.
I heard that from a Scottish person. I was like, I'm never forgetting this. My brain decided that was what I was going to
I can't
remember.
believe this was so cheap.
Entire UK area is so much more fucking advanced on cuss words than we are. It's like they take it to an art form.
It's so
I mean, there's been times I've been yelled at, and I'm like, I literally don't know what you said, but I'm
To be
offended.
honest, everybody thinks that like America's really racist, but like that other hemisphere is so much better than racist.
Well,
They did invent it.
Every time I talk to somebody from that part of the world, I'm impressed.
We copied it from them.
We just look at them.
Apparently that's what we're supposed to do.
Well, that's what I like about Australians. They have such a liberal use of the C word. Like I was in,
Oh, dude.
again, a non, or what they say?
No, like that.
Yeah, you should.
That one. Oh, I'm not going to say it. But like, I just
like
smoked
YouTube,
it.
like that's the N-word.
Really? I don't think so. And like, there was these Aussies
If
that
Australia was throwing around the N-word, like they throw around the C-word, there'd be an issue.
Yeah.
You're right though. They do use it
A lot.
It really doesn't mean much there.
It's like the word shit to them.
Yeah, well, they'll even use it. They'll even use it for friends.
Yeah, yeah. It's like
I'm
the
like,
F-word in America.
You can't get away with it. You can't get away with it with an Australian accent.
Not on the,
not on
Yeah,
the
fair enough.
Dude, we watch monetization
with 1 million women. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
YouTube, we had a breakdown. We don't get demonetized much, but when we do, I always like try to review it. And I remember the review. I was like, "Why the fuck did this get demonetized?" Ryan Reynolds and the C word every time. Every time. Every single time. And there were like an hour and 38 minutes. Ryan Reynolds says, "That's how we said the 22. That's why now we call it the Ryan Reynolds yourself." Because if you say that word or reference it too directly,
So I'm not allowed to say that someone irritated me so much I'm only going to do 21 push-ups tonight?
you can say that.
Okay.
Okay, guys, like, That's I do obscure. not understand.
Like you can't use his name.
No, you can say Ryan. No. Ryan Reynolds is in reference to his... G-Van, you can't... G-Van, block this out. You can't
Okay. It's
Yeah,
I got
we
you.
call
I got
that.
you. Interesting. It's interesting.
Well, that's charged up.
You ever seen in George Carlin when he talks about something on the road, George Carlin's like, doing that is like telling God, you can't fire me that quick.
George Carlin was a treasure, man. It was so sad.
See us.
I love George Carlin, man.
Everything he did is just like so good.
You know, the first time he did was the 8 words you can't say on TV. He got arrested. Like, arrested. But yeah, I saw a TikTok on it. I don't know how true it is, but like, apparently he did it live in like on a television show.
Young adult and they straight to black group. They were not born yet. I was sick.
Hold on, I was two.
I was negative too.
You were two. You obviously watched that live on TV. I was two, so I just remembered seeing it. Look at it. I watched it on YouTube later, 5 years later.
I was 7.
This is, I want you to take this in. This is what you look like when you get out of the military and you stay young. This is what you look like when you've been doing it for 15 years. And I daily contemplate being like, hey, we're just going to move on. No, yeah, when are we get fired? I don't know. A lot of people want it. The only thing keeping me from
Kansas starts with I'm not no. Here's my plan. Here's my two-step plan. Step one, go to a War Thunder forum. Step two, make a video about it and tell everybody thank you to individual line robbers for telling me all of this shit. That's my whole plan. And he's gonna get fired. And then
I'll also get arrested.
No.
I got 5 years. I'm going to so 6 years.
For volunteering for an extra year.
Yeah, it's just I don't get rookie though, bro. This is the thing. Hold on.
Did you not learn anything?
Stay with me. I was a first sergeant for 17 days in a war with the because the military is the biggest group of retards and assholes you've ever fucking met. And they go, okay, you fucking mongoloid. And like, but then you keep talking about right after you start going out, man, like, and then you got some fucking this fucking mongoloid. And then you get some fucking sergeant major that calls me Sergeant Long. Why did he drink and drive? Let me see. Look on my list. His parents are related. He had fucking 8 lead paint chips as a kid. Fucking drank. I mean, what the fuck do you want, Sergeant Major? You're like there's no answer I can give you will make you go back to sleep.
You're like, you know what? If I'm being perfectly honest in the safety breeze, I didn't actually mention smoking crack at that.
Fuck,
That is my bad. That's on me.
That's on me. I got it.
I'm gonna add that to the list, and it'll never happen again.
I piggybacked off the...
My bad.
I love the military, but something like, don't get me wrong, I love what I do. I love like missiles and fucking tactics and you know, everything that I do with the system and shoot shit down. And I love like being that asset. I love it.
I love that you didn't mention private in anywhere.
No, you know, okay, fuck, just you get a phone call at 2 in the morning and you're just like, oh, sorry, Sergeant, my wife can't get on base. Why? Because she was driving without a license. What the fuck you want me to do, you fucking idiot? The dumbest bunch of fucking idiots.
So let me make a defense of me. And I'm only saying this because now I've been out forever. The military does make you so dependent. You know what I mean? That in a way, it's not shocking that they're acting. You know what I mean? It's like they make you go to them for everything. So I don't know. I can see how the system.
I just want the cheat. I want you to training.
Literally, like, I'm gonna tell you how to wipe your own ass, and then you get mad at them when they ask how to wipe their own ass.
See you later. Yeah,
They tell you, don't you jump how high I tell you to jump. You can recover. Some people stay.
I'm not asking. Just I'm sticking around for the cheap pump. That's like why I'm sticking around. So what
because it's so good.
Yeah.
So on that note,
I was gonna make a strong hand joke. I drank too much. I'm sorry. I was gonna drink strong hand joke.
You want another
hand joke? You ever seen the scary movie too? I'm a strong hand.
Oh.
I know with my strong hand.
yeah, it's a great.
I'm going to hell.
Funny guy. No, accounting was him. But I've used this analogy before. I look at the military like a crazy girlfriend.
It really is.
And so it's like she's bananas. Oh yeah, bananas. But she's really around. It's sexy. So it's like you kind of do. You put up with. We're gonna go shopping for light bulbs. But you do it, you know, and then you're like bouncing between linens and things, Home Depot and freaking Bed Bath and Beyond, like your whole weekend, and you're just like, how did I get here?
I want to agree with you, but like after my divorce, I've been divorced and now remarried. My wife is amazing, honestly. 1 out of 7.8 so, and but I have such a long list of red flags. Like if the military was like that far, I would just be like, I can't do this because like I mean, tell me, winged eyeliner, red lipstick, driving a Chevy Corolla, or excuse me, Chevy Cavalier, like these are I have weird red flags for the longest time. In the military, I agree at some point, but like after it's burned me in some case, I got my red flags up. I'm saying,
Well, but what I'm saying is you're still
you know, that's
That's what I'm saying. It's you want to break up with her,
Yeah.
but you're just like, yeah, it's good, it's really good. When it's bad, it's really bad. But you're still gonna be good.
That's, you know, next year when I go to Halloween, I'm gonna be right.
How many years have you had?
Can't you?
Say how many?
I mean, well, no, technically I ran this, but never have to. Get out of the center.
I did it 2 years is a third of 6.
I know.
Science.
You know what? Hold on. Get my logic here. You know what sounds better?
Whatever you're about to say, I already know.
Cheap healthcare and a pension on top of being full-time contract.
Oh yeah. All right. You're making a fundamental math. You're 100% serious. I gotta put my foot down. Math here.
Okay, how's the math?
Here. How much is your retirement?
Oh, fucking not good. Probably 100% disability is like $3,400, give or take, a month. And then
Hold on. That 100% right there is guaranteed right now. You don't need to do another 5 or 6 years to get that.
That's fair.
So now retirement, concurrent retirement.
Right now, Harvard.
First and foremost, introduce you to Lieutenant Chad Anderson and Deputy Greg Smith. They both back up and hurdle out of more than about 12 to unfound park, Duff Road, Lakeland. Deputy Connor worked in the area because we had some burglaries in the area. The James Baker kid with door handles, cash, credit cards, guns. And there's been some of those in the area. We also took many burglary of possession cards. So Deputy Connor was concerned when she should, when she saw a white Mercedes-Benz parking lot. She checked on the person there. The person was there, called the concern. She asked, show me your driver's license, tell me who you are. He looked at the response, get out of the car, cooperate. She noticed that he was dressed all white. Wearing some kind of religious or garb. He certainly wasn't in normal street clothes. So she called the back room, and that's when Deputy Greg Smith, Lieutenant Anderson was shot, as well as Deputy Molina was ready. And also had Natalie Austin, who is K9, back with us. So now there's regular training of 7 deputies. So Greg Smith, Chad Anderson, give him the door, say, hey, look, man, we tried to talk to you. You got to identify yourself. You got to come out and talk to us. And his car started going, they ran up the window, and all of a sudden, he started shooting. We know now that he shot 5 times, so 5 empty cases. He struck Lieutenant Chad Anderson in the left arm through the arm, his chest and neck. The projectile lodged in his heart and spinal column. He was fractions of an inch from being paralyzed, chest down, or killed if it had gone into his heart or struck any of those major arteries in that area. He went down. He got 2 shots off before he went down. Craig Smith, Deputy Smith, gunfire. 38 shots fired. We hit the suspect with guns and he was immediately deceased.
You won't find confidence on any list of SUV features, but one Ram has it in spades. Backed with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Lease the new 2024 Sportage LX for $269 a month. Ready for the big meeting?
I have to write this project plan.
I just need to reply to 40 emails.
Every day your team gets sucked into endless writing tasks, and every day hours disappear for everyone except Pam. Hey Pam. Because Pam uses Grammarly's AI to write in a few clicks, not a few hours. It's one seamless experience everywhere, and it works for the whole enterprise. That's why 7,000 teams trust Grammarly.
I was lost in the dark.
Grammarly. Easier said, done.
So now we rush everyone to the hospital. Lieutenant Chad Anderson has had 2 surgeries. He's still in critical condition. Greg Smith, who originally went in, was in critical but stable condition, and he has now been upgraded. Obviously, Lieutenant Anderson is still in intensive care, and Deputy Greg Smith has been upgraded to a different floor. But I want to talk to you about the suspect. And I want to show you what we found in his written car. First, the firearm that he used to shoot my deputies and to shoot at the other deputies. It's a Springfield Arms NC 9mm. And in addition to being a loaded firearm, he also had 2 more loaded magazines and dual protection. So he could have had a small gun battle with what he had. In the back seat, he had this Ruger 1022 converted to an AR-15. In a backpack, he had fully loaded 3mm firearm handgun. So, what did you issue to our suspect that tried to murder my deputies in his best? This came at Elway, 26. That's the name that he has taken on because, you see, he identifies as Moorish. He's the number 13 lion-hearted on his Florida driver's license. Beside the signature is written ARR, all rights reserved. He's currently homeless. He's a victim from a place in Wilkesburg County. He has been moving around in Pinellas County. He was asked to leave a business there for his mother. We talked to his mother. She said, I don't know this person. She said, I know Power Cables is CAPLS. Power Cables is my son. He went to Fresno State after 3 years of college and studying business. He left. He apparently was radicalized when he was at Fresno State. She said, I raised him as a Christian boy. He was a good man. We found that he didn't have a criminal history. He had a suspended driver's license. So the person that his mother knew and loved, she'd not seen him in 3 years since he left California. That's where she lives. Until we got that fake call, she had talked to him, had communicated with him, and had on occasion sent him money to help. But she says she doesn't know this. He came back to LA, but that's who he goes by now. Here's his identification card. His Moorish identification card. He's a sovereign citizen. The Moorish checks federal, state, and local law. AI comes in, they have a potential violent law. And I will portion you back to those who've been reporters around here for a while. Remember 2017, on the I-4 3 police officers were shot and killed. A sergeant with the Orlando Police Department, a sergeant with the Kissimmee Police Department, and on that same day, an officer with the Kissimmee Police Department. They were shot by two separate Moorish on 2017. And now let's fast forward to 2024, and K-Mac tried to murder two of my police officers. In addition to their violent acts, they're known for trying to file paperwork. For example, they have filed an arrest warrant for a meeting Moorish world with a $1 million bond, as well as some of my other deputies. Not this, but other Moorish people. We make frequent arrests of these citizens, these Moorish citizens. But we don't punish them because we don't want to market for them. But let me read something for just a second. This is an example. Now here's his ID card. And this is a sample of the card that he had. So that when they were doing it, it would say in the mindset, this is a valid and lawful form of identification. See United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, Article 2 and 33, Section 1. Your people notice that any unlawful act against indigenous community or is a federal crime will be fined $750,000 or more. Any violation of my rights, well-being, or property is your express agreement to be held officially and privately liable for $750,000 for each violation of the bearer's rights in each capacity. If contained in the bearer, you also expressly agree to a fee schedule of $90,000 per hour upon any unlawful payment in violation of the bearer's right. Payment is due immediately and lawful money. So you get an idea of what we're dealing with when we're dealing with Moorish sovereign citizens. They're dangerous. And you don't know them. There's been other occasions where I think it's at all, they just file paperwork illegally. And if you harken back to a few years ago before the legislature and create a new set of laws so that if they try to go down and file claims against judges or that
Small.
we've talked to the mother twice of our suspect, at least twice. I call him because he's given name that he wants us to use contact LA. But for mom's benefit, we've talked to Kyron Bates. She is a wonderful lady. She is totally in shock. And she said, as she's going to fly in at some point in time, she wants to meet with the deputies and apologize for her son's shooting. That's a good person. She understands the gravity of what occurred. Are there any questions? We don't know where the guns came from. We don't have to register the guns, or they're not stolen. At least they're not in the computer that's stolen. And he is not stolen. So he has the right, that's the right. Okay. nothing at all. And here's just the most senseless part of this. Well, you look at this boorish rhetoric, that's pretty senseless. But he was in a park that was closed, and he simply identified himself. When we found he had a suspended license, he couldn't have driven off. He didn't have to bring any criminal charges against him. More than likely, we would have said, hey, let's get somebody to give you a ride. And that would have been the end. Probably not even a citation for being in the park after dark. He was not who we were looking for. We were looking for teenagers that were running through neighborhoods at night with the door handles. He was not a target. He was not a problem until he made himself a problem. And I think that's what shocks his mother, and quite frankly shocks all of us, because up to this point, we see no evidence that he was violent, but we saw lots of evidence that he was capable of being violent. And we also know that his radicalization has increased over the last 3 years based on his conduct, his ID card showing that he's a boorish person. So why he decided to murder, we don't know, but we know that's not unusual. When you look at their history, just here on the I-4 corridor, and if you search up, you'll see that these folks that are boorish and some of these other citizens that they call themselves have been violent toward law enforcement. Well, there are some citizens in every county, in every state in this nation. Now, how many? We don't know. We run into them periodically, and usually it's on a traffic stop because they don't have a tag on their car. So you stop them to say, where's the tag on your car? They roll the window down about this far. We say, wait, man, we see your driver's license. I'm not showing you anything. And then they give you a quote like, I am not subservient to the laws of the United States or the state of Florida. You have no right to stop me and interfere with me. I'm a free man or a free woman. And they go into all this nonsense. And we thought it was one more of those. And then we very nicely, very professionally say, sir, ma'am, if you don't open the door, if you don't show us your driver's license, if you don't explain why you don't have a tag, we have to arrest you. I am not subject to the laws of the United States. And at that point in time, we say, ma'am, sir, please, if you don't get out of the car, we've got to take you out of the car. I am not subject to obey any direction by any law enforcement officer. And at that point, we take a punch, we break the window out, we open the car door, we take them out, we put them in handcuffs, and take them to jail.
All stations ready for contact. We are clear. And as the lead on you, come around. Fire mission confirmed. Buckle up.
And that's what we were doing that night after the resistance. He had time to think about it. Why backup was coming. We didn't rush him. We didn't push him. We talked to him. We tried to communicate with him. He wasn't having it. He was Boris. He was a sovereign citizen. He didn't have to adhere to the laws of the state of Florida or the United States. And he shot my deputies and we killed him. The yard there. He had to know that was coming. There was a legion of deputies around him trying to get him to cooperate. He chose to shoot him. He made that decision, and we obliged him. And what we have now is we have 2 deputies that are significantly injured, critically injured, and their recovery will be months and months and months. And it's by the grace of God that they're alive. Fractions of an inch, and they would be dead. Anything else? Before I go, we've gotten several phone calls. Sheriff.org/donate. And people said, we want to help. We know that we're going to give them the best medical care. There's obviously their salaries are intact, everything's solid, but there's a lot of incidental costs that go along whenever someone gets killed, and we have people asking us, if you want to donate, we'll certainly split whatever donations in half. I had one man call me this morning and said, I'm sending you a check for $7,000. How do I do it? But there's a lot of costs because parents, wives can't go to work, and all kinds of issues. So if you want to donate, this is how you do it, to our charity, and then we'll in turn make sure they get the money. All right, God bless y'all. See you later. Keep them in your prayers, our deputies in your prayers, and also keep the dead suspects' family in your prayers, because they're obviously distraught and have no idea that their son was capable of such conduct. Okay? Thank you.
Can you imagine living in a world where everybody was loved and accepted? The 4'11", the 6'4" girl, the curvy girl, the super fit.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us here today. This is going to take a few minutes because it was a very large operation, but I want to start by introducing you to some of our colleagues that joined us this time with this operation. We could not do this without our counselors, so I want to start with them. One More Child, Jody Amangi, Heartland for Children, Kate Parchment, and Saleh Freedom, Sarah Batchel. In addition to that, this operation was on the west side of the county in the city of Lakeland, and we were assisted by several police departments. The special thanks goes to the Lakeland Police Department. We have Assistant Chief Pacheco here with us today. They donated a lot of resources for us this time, and it's really appreciated. And the support by all of these police departments was over the top. Kansas City Police Departments, represented today by Detective Dominez Davenport, Chief Steve Parker's with us. We also have the Auburndale Police Department with us, Detective Kevin Seymour, Lake Hamilton Chief Mike T. The Winter Haven Fire Rescue was with us, Dr. Hart. And that wasn't just if things got real hot, he put the fire out, but imagine it would have if it hadn't happened. But it's important to point out that in this county, we don't operate in silos as separate law enforcement agencies. We're all friends. We all respect and love each other. We all work together. And you're going to see the outcome when you have great police agencies work with you. I'm going to give you a lot of information quickly, and then the reporters can narrow in on whatever they're interested in. 228 arrests, 66 prostitutes, 50 Johns, and 12 others. This time we identified 13 potential victims of human trafficking. But I want to make this statement today. In 1 year, we have identified 58 potential victims of human trafficking in 1 year with these operations. What's significant about that? That is the most ever we've been able to identify. And why were we able to identify this many potential victims of human trafficking? We because of these ladies standing with us. We do something that most police agencies run from if they do these kinds of operations at all. We embed our counselors with us from the absolute very beginning of the operation, even before. They are every bit as important to our investigation as our detectives that do their coverage at any time. So, once again, thank our social service organizations for joining us from the beginning. 42 of the 228 we arrested were from Polk County. Now those of you from Polk County know better. We talk about this, we don't hide it, and if you don't know about it, you obviously live under a rock. So you've had to learn the hard way. But for the rest of you, pay attention, because this is not the last operation. We'll have more, and we'll give you the opportunity to be arrested if you're stupid enough to show up. That's the guarantee. In addition to that, 42 of these folks were married. And I've got some quotes from wives that I'll give you in a little bit. And some people say, well, this is not a big deal, but at the end of this operation, I'm going to talk about the 21 illegal aliens we arrested in much more detail. Criminal charges, it's a low-level misdemeanor. These aren't violent. These people have a previous history of 2,038 arrests. Did you hear what I said? These people are criminals in their own right, most of them, not all of them. 879 previous felonies, 1,159 previous misdemeanors. We dealt with 17 firearms this time by 15 different suspects. 44 people were on narcotics. 12 people came and had outstanding warrants. We appreciate that. They came to us, we didn't have to chase them down. One was a commercial pilot. We had a branch of the military and teachers. I'm going to talk specifically about those in a minute. But the comments. One wife sent the detective a message the next day. She said, "Good one, guys. Thank you for helping. Keep doing what you're doing." John said he worked overtime today, and he just needed to blow off some steam. Well, gave him a chance to also go a little pills in the county jail. Another one said, well, I came here because, I'm going to be incapacitated for 10 days. I'm going to turn myself in Monday at the county jail for 2 days. The judge said it's previously. Wait, you don't have to turn yourself in. We'll give you a ride. Some additional criminal charges to go through. One Johnson, who was married, said, well, sometimes you just need to see something different. Well, he did. He saw a different woman, but she was undercover. Then he got to see the jail. I would hate to see what it's like in his house when his wife, who's obviously going to watch this, finds out that he just needed to see something different. And then there was John that was married for 26 years. He said his wife was in a Hard Rock casino. And he was at, I thought I was going to say something, but I'm not. But it did turn out to be a Hard Rock casino. It did turn out to be the Rock, known as Grady Town, or the county jail. One John was married. He said he came here to play golf. Well, I got to tell you, I've heard it called a lot of stuff, but never playing golf. And there was no hole-in-one. One John said he left his wife and 5 children at home. One prostitute said she'd only been here 2 days. She was here from New York to make money. And instead she came to New York vacation, and she's going to leave here on probation. Well, let's talk about specifics real quickly as I go through this. Here is, first we'll start with our advocates. Kelly Ball Tudor. He used to be a coach at Monroe Junior College in New York. We don't know if he's still a coach or not. He said he tutors children as young as middle school. He came for sex with a lady, wanted to pay $150. Oh, by the way, in January of this year, he was arrested in Hillsborough County for what? The same thing. He's married, that his wife's proud of, to arrest in 2 counties in Central Florida. I don't know if this gets to New York City or not, but we'll put it on social media and should have all options. Benjamin Johnson, he's from Plant City. He's a golf pro. He's also an athlete at Eaglebrook in Lakeland. That's right. He's PGA specialized teacher and coach. And he came for sex with a female, $150. He has a criminal history of cannabis and dealing in stolen property. So he can teach you to play golf, or he can teach you how to deal in stolen property, or how to get caught at dealing in stolen property. Then there's Wilman Santa Cruz, not to be confused with Santa Claus, he's 50. He says he's a triathlon coach, a certified triathlon coach, and he's a triathlon athlete. You know what's strange about this? The dude showed up with meth. I mean, does that help you perform better when you're a triathlon athlete? Or do triathlon athletes, you would think would be the kind of people who took care of their body, was using meth and seeking out the interest of a lady of the evening? Then there's Sergio Collins. He currently is a progressive insurance claim adjuster, but he's married. I mean, his wife's not happy. And he says on his LinkedIn page that he's a middle school football coach at Lakeland Christian School. They said, no way, he is not a coach at Lakeland Christian Schools. So when you're doing your press, don't look him up online and take Sergio at his word. The school says absolutely not. He thought he was going to have sex. But then, of course, if you're going to have coaches and teachers, you might as well have a straight-up teacher. This is Gene, he's 26 from Augustdale. He's a teacher at Giddings High School where he teaches math and science. You can't have sex. We call it a quick visit for $60. Well, since he's able to teach math, he can figure out that it didn't add up when he came this time. Then Brandy Barnes, she's an IT specialist at Tampa General Hospital. We're going to get to the medical world for a minute. We get the coaches, we get the teachers. She has a criminal history of meth arrest, and she agreed to provide sex to an undercover for 1 hour. Okay. Then this is Luxon Gene Bridwell. He's 38. He's married. He's in the medical field. He's the RN, the registered nurse, the managing Springs nursing home. He wanted to have sex. He has a criminal history of DUI. So you can still work as an RN, get drunk and drive. I'm interested to see if they're going to do anything to his license for a morals act, trying to have sex. We'll find out. Louis Navarro, he's from Puerto Rico, he's 61. He's a veterinarian. He's retired from the USDA. He came over to have sex, but his veterinarian license is still current. Maybe I can help judge him and put him in the county jail, because we always need help with spay and neuters and animal control. This is Tricon Giles. He's from Tampa. He's a staff sergeant in the Air Force, looking for sex. And he said, well, he's done this before about 6 months ago. He doesn't learn very fast.
It's a shame so many people gain weight from metformin, especially when a simple grocery store spice.
Can't believe the Air Force would have a slow learner. I guess they do. And then there's Jake Owens. He's scheduled to begin his Air Force training in May. And oh my goodness, he had a meltdown. this can't happen to me. This can't happen to me. I'm going into the Air Force. Well, maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Who knows? And then there's Brandon Bush. He's active Air Force as well. Air Force was the only branch of the service we called this, or Air Force wannabes. He's scheduled at McNeil. He's a German first class. He's not only in the military, but he's a military police officer. So since we talked about military, he's a military police officer, let's get to our law enforcement officer. Y'all, he's 23. He used to be a detention deputy for me. We fired him. He was arrested in Orange County on February the 9th. No, I take that back. He resigned before we got around to firing him. And then we arrested him again on February the 23rd. So on the 9th he got arrested in Orange County and resigned. On the 23rd we arrested him again. And he said, hey, is this a felony now that I'm arrested the second time? He didn't pay attention at the police academy because he hasn't been convicted yet. So when we were interviewing him, and we go, like, dude, what would you do? You went from being a stellar employee to committing moral crimes, and it's 2 in a month. He said, I got a problem. No, you got a big problem. Then there's Alex Edwards, he's 34. He says he's on disability, he doesn't work, so they're paying him to do things like have sex, call it a quick visit. In his car we found cocaine, fentanyl, cannabis, a gun. He picked up an armed trafficking, cocaine and fentanyl charge in addition to his misdemeanor soliciting charge. Oh, he's got criminal history of robbery, fleeing, armed trafficking, and he spent 8.5 years in prison for some of those violent things. He says he's on disability. He's not disabled, folks. He's able to commit crime. If you're able to commit crime, you ought to be able to go to work. He just doesn't like to work, obviously. And then there's Joseph Development, 46. He's from Wildwood. He's married. He's a plumber. He also said, that he's a pagan, member of an outlaw motorcycle group. Now, he said a lot of things, you know. They said he, by the way, was super nice. He's a relatively new member of the Pagans. He explained all of this. He's very proud of his outfit. They call it colors. See, we asked him about this. He said, well, because I have the safety pin here, we thought maybe it was for big underwear or something. He said, when you have it like this, you're sending a message to all the other different motorcycle gangs that you're just passing through and you're peaceful, you don't want any problem. So he had his diaper pin, so he didn't want any problems, but he got problems. But he told our undercover, see, there's rules about this job. The rule is that, well, no one is supposed to touch this jacket. Okay, but remember, see, no. And you must turn the jacket inside out to hang it up. Sure, it's not to do that too. Why we're not touching it. He said that his wife was going to really be mad. And he used other words. What we call it. And guess what? It was right. She was really mad. And I've been pagans. See, he's not been a member but just a few months. And here, now he's disparaged them. And the cops have one of their jackets. And they've been handling it. And, you know, we didn't hang it up backwards or any of the other rules that they have. But hey, Joseph, I don't know how well you do plumbing business, but you don't do very well at following the rules with your outlaw motorcycle. I'm gonna go over this real quick. These two guys are brothers. Omar 16, Caleb 17. They came down to Wesley Chapel, which is in Pasco County, and guess what? They came down to rob us at 16 and 17. We saw them sleeping in the hallway, listening through the door. They set up the deal, but it just wasn't right. They were dressed all in black. They had their face covered. And we took them down at the car. They had a BB gun that looked like a real gun. Back to that car. Really bad for them. But instead it was charged with soliciting and a bunch of other stuff. Oh, by the way. They have a criminal history for burglary and larceny out of Hillsborough County just recently. They're juveniles. We're going to see how the system deals with them to get them in line so they don't end up with the rest of their life. Before I turn it over to my colleagues here, they worked with us to make this happen. And what this is, and I want everybody to see clearly, federal policy drives illegal immigrant crime and victimization. And that's the focus, other than our victims of trafficking. Listen, folks, I want to introduce you to Andres Gil. Okay? Here's this guy. He's also on this board, but get a look at him for a second. He came down here from New York, 3 females. All of them are in the country illegally. Did you hear what I said? They're all here illegally. He's the one that comes with them to drive them. These ladies are all controlled by a human trafficker. We think the human trafficker is a female. She sets up their appointments. She puts their ads online. She tells them where to go. And by the way, on Friday, the victims of human trafficking, and we grayed them out, 3 of them that are here illegally, Venezuela, 3 of them have to pay her $3,000 apiece on Friday, or else they're threatened. So they're not free. They're really indigent. And they're quote unquote paying off their debt. Now here's what they told us. Alright? I'm sure the federal government will verify that this is not true, but you decide who you want to believe, whether you want to believe the victims of human trafficking or the whitewash that the federal authorities do. They think that when they came into the country illegally, DHS gave them a form, an ID, paperwork that allows them to fly for free. You know, Southwest will let your bags fly free, but the federal government will let you illegal immigrants fly free. And they operate out of New York. And they were working up there, and the New York authorities said, if you don't have identification, you can't work in our sex trade up here. You know, we don't allow sex trade here at all, but they don't allow your digital stuff if you've got the proper authority. So they say they make a lot of money. They're addicted. It's like you're getting more addicted. They tell us that they fly to major metro centers for free on the federal government, where they set up their appointments for centers all around the country. Did you hear what I said? Listen, folks, if they don't pay $3,000 apiece on Friday, they're in trouble. The human trafficker sets up the deal. Hey, this deal is just outside of town. They say they share this ID, this car, this paper, they fly for free down. Then they fly back. But we heard a similar theme from all 21 folks. We can't work legal. We're addicted to this cash. It's a lot of cash and it's quick, so we have to get 5,000, and we get to keep everything above that. We have a crisis at the border. And because of the crisis at the border, we have people that are victimizing illegal folks, forcing them into the sex trade. Because we allow criminals in the country illegally. We all rail about this, nobody pays any attention. And then we want to politic everything. Oh, we had a good piece of legislation that limited the average to only 5,000 illegals a day in the country, then we can shut it off. If you shut it off at 5,000 people illegally coming in this country a day, you can shut it off at no illegally coming into this country a day. But the politicians are politicking on the victims are being victimized. I read an article this week that says, well, the illegals coming here aren't committing crime at any greater percentage than the people who are committing. What they tell you is if they weren't here illegally at all, the crime they would commit here would be zero. So we're being victimized. But that doesn't make any difference on the national level. You see, because they sit up there behind the gated communities and in Congress, they play politics back and forth between the two parties. Wow. Illegals are victimized. Citizens are victimized. Children are victimized. You got this goofy looking kid here who's making sure that they come up with $3,000 a week apiece. And he's hearing me.
There's a growing interest in socialism among young people in America, but do they know about its dismal past and history of failure? In the ebook, The History of Socialism and Capitalism, you can join historian Victor.
It's a mess, and it doesn't have to be. If we can deal with it and catch it on the local level, they can stop it on the federal level. Shame on all of them. Every one of them. For not getting together and saying, you know, there are things bigger in this country than my individual politics. So now, we'll start with Jody. Good.
Good morning. My name is Jody Domain, and I'm the Executive Director of Anti-Trafficking at One More Child. We would like to thank Sheriff Judd, the Polk County Sheriff's detectives, and the various agencies that are represented here today for their continued partnership and for the ability to affect those who are being impacted by commercial sexual exploitation at their most critical moments. One More Child has been serving vulnerable children and families for the last 120 years. Last year, we served over 250,000 individuals. 776 of those were survivors of human sex trafficking that we served in Florida, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Ohio. We walked alongside these individuals with survivor mentorship, advocacy, and mental health counseling. Several of the survivors that we came alongside of came from operations just like this one, including Amber. We met Amber at the last Polk County Sheriff's operation. And although Amber wasn't ready to disclose her victimization, she was ready to receive help. And we were able to wrap around Amber with advocacy with her criminal court case and provide her necessary resources that began her path and journey to healing. As a result of this, we were also able to help Amber identify a local church that she was able to plug into for her forever community. And now she's got a hope for her future. During this operation, we provided follow-up services to 62 individuals who came to be purchased for sex. We met with over 23 women while they were incarcerated to let them know that they had better options, that there were resources out there for them that could lead for their healing and for them to be self-sufficient on their own. We also helped identify as many as 14 potential victims of human trafficking who now have ongoing investigations. I will say with all of this great work in this operation, there were a lot of people who were arrested for purchasing sex, coming to purchase sex. And the sheriff has asked us to address that this is a significant problem that must be addressed at all levels. Lucky for us, we were in the rooms embedded during these investigations, so not only are we able to present those that are vulnerable with necessary resources, but we're also able to provide education to the buyers that what they're doing is not a act between two consensual adults, that people on the other side of that transaction are being victimized time and time again. And we are begging and pulling for our advocates around the state to utilize the resources at their disposal, including the state's attorney's office, to make sure that we are implementing the fines associated with buying commercial sex. And also
April 19th, 1775. This dude lived in Arlington.
On April 16 of 23, at around 12 a.m., a man named Jacob wakes up to a strange noise outside his room. Trembling with fear, he gets out of bed and encounters something that leaves him extremely unnerved. Now, not too long ago, I featured a video from Jacob, who you may remember as the man who inherited an old house and a creepy clown doll that both belonged to his grandmother. The clown doll, known as Jeffrey, scares him. Because of this, he keeps Jeffrey locked up in a separate room away from him. But then one night, something happens that spooks Jacob out of his mind. It's close to midnight when a loud bang wakes him up. He hears a couple more noises before suddenly realizing that the sounds are coming from the room next to his, where the clown doll was put. What happens next scares the living daylights out of him. Take a look. Jacob checks the room where the sounds were coming from. A loud noise is heard from downstairs. He looks nervously down the staircase, when suddenly, the sound of footsteps going up the stairs is heard. Yet, as he looks closely, no one appears to be there. He then quickly turns around to see the door opening slowly, showing Jeffrey whose head is now in a different position, initially seen facing the wall. The clown is now staring at the door. Jacob quickly ends the video here and locks himself in his room until the following morning. After this night, he was absolutely certain that Jeffrey was haunted. Afraid it might happen again or something worse will occur, he decides to move Jeffrey into the basement.
Another thing, you know, I think I'm definitely gonna go with Jeffrey. With whatever happens, I don't, I don't know. So far, over here.
Unlike before, Jacob will keep an eye on Jeffrey by placing a security camera in his home. If anything happens, he'll be notified immediately via a notification sent by the camera. Fast forward to 15 minutes later, and he's notified of movement inside the basement. He checks the camera's live feed and sees that the camera is moving side to side. Now this didn't alarm him, as he forgot that the heater on which the camera was placed on top has a timer that turns it on and makes it oscillate. The heater had simply turned on during this time. But as he continues to watch, something happens that terrifies him to his core. Watch. As the camera oscillates from side to side, the clown's arm eerily moves on its own. Seconds later, the light bulb blows out in a loud explosion, making the basement completely dark. Following that, a strange voice is heard whispering something that's hard to make out. Not much else happens after this, but everything that happened before was enough for Jacob to decide that Jeffrey should remain locked up in the basement. Jeffrey continues to be recorded in case he moves again. For now, no further updates have been posted by Jacob. But until then, this video remains a mystery. This next video comes from a man whose entire home is filled with Bibles and other religious artifacts that he worships on the daily. If he's not praying, then he's most likely sitting at his piano playing a song with verses from the Bible. Pretty much everything he has or does in this apartment is based on something religious. Now you might be thinking that this man is simply devoted to his religion. While that's partly true, the main reason as to why he prays a lot has to do with something completely different. As it turns out, this man has been experiencing strange happenings in his home. Ever since visiting his father's gravesite at the cemetery, he can't shake the feeling that something has followed him home. Whatever it might be, he's deeply afraid of it. For this reason, he's been praying and singing religious songs more so than usual as an attempt to get rid of the evil entity that now lives in his home. One day, while taking a nap, he wakes up to a loud noise in the living room. He grabs his phone and records this.
Bueno, estoy grabando este video porque estoy tratando de dormir, pero acabo de escuchar un golpe duro por allá donde está la entonces. Decidí grabar porque hace días que se viene presentando. Parece que está sucediendo cosas raras. Entonces,
Feeling slightly unnerved, the man sees a set of eating utensils swing side to side as though a strong breeze had passed by. But as the man points out, all windows are closed shut. Naturally, he was stricken with fear, but not as much as the next incident, as what happens then leaves him terribly shaken up. A few days after this occurrence, the man uploads a video in which he appears to be deeply distressed. Watch.
Te ordeno que te vayas. En el nombre de Jesús ordeno que te vayas. No tienes derecho de estar aquí. Ordeno que te vas. Ordeno que te vas en nombre de Jesús.
Appearing to be fed up with the supposed spirit, the man tells the spirit to leave at once, but after having done so, a piano key is seemingly pressed by an unseen force. The man quickly rushes out of the room in a panic frenzy. It was now clear to him that something was provoking him. But as if that wasn't obvious enough, 4 days later, this happens. It's 3 in the morning when the man and his girlfriend, who were staying the night, wake up to strange noises. What happens next leaves them highly unsettled. Take a look.
Here we go again. It's not right at the side of fast diarrhea.
Sound familiar? Any of these digestive issues after eating may cause you to second-guess your food choices and could mean you have exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. But Creon can help manage EPI. Creon is an oral prescription medicine used to treat EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions. Creon replenishes digestive enzymes, so the body can break down food and absorb its nutrients.
You had me at hello.
With Creon, I can manage my EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you are allergic to pork, have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Nothing can come between us.
Savor everyday moments. Don't wait to ask your doctor if Creon is right for you. Learn how AbbVie can help you save on Creon.
Not everyone's life runs in straight lines. At Sophia, we get that. Our flexible, affordable, self-paced college-level courses help thousands of people just like you complete your degrees for only $300 a month.
6 horas para que lo posible que me acompañe con el estado de atrás que están pasando. En el nombre de Jesús, manifiéstate. En el nombre de Jesús, manifiéstate. Manifiéstate en el nombre de Jesús, te ordeno que te manifiestes. Strangely, the wind chimes move on their own, and the kitchen appears to be ransacked. Yet according to the man, no signs of forced entry were seen anywhere in the house. Further adding to the strangeness, the man says that his girlfriend felt very ill only minutes after this incident. Whether or not this had something to do with her sudden illness is unknown. But considering what happened only days later, the man can't help but think that the spirit was responsible for this. It's late at night, and the man is once again woken up by mysterious noises when this is captured. Without warning, the sound of footsteps charging at full throttle can be heard heading towards the man before being attacked by an unseen presence. Scared stiff, the man stands in silence while trying to process what just happened. He then picks up his phone and ends the video here. Although undoubtedly strange, viewers find it stranger that the man doesn't turn on the lights in most of these incidents. But the reason for this, according to him, is
is that the lights for most of the rooms are located at the main entrance, which she stays away from, as he's too scared to approach. Whether ghost or not, the man continues to pray and read passages from the Bible in the hopes that doing so would get rid of the strange presence that haunts him. In early January of 2023, a woman named Nancy Malkin had a very strange encounter with something in her child's bedroom. Nancy says that the reason she had went up to her son's bedroom in the first place was because she saw something quite unusual on the security camera that's placed in this room. She had woken up from a nap before looking over at the camera's live feed and seeing a strange orb flying around her son's toys. It would seem to zip around in a strange way and react to objects it touched as though it had mind of its own. Now Nancy had been looking at this orb for quite some time. More than 5 minutes had passed since initially spotting the mysterious orb, and still, it continued to float around in the same spot. Now curious as to what exactly was being caught on camera, she walks over to her son's room, but strangely, finds nothing there. Nothing visible could be seen with her naked eye. But on camera, she could still see the ball of light floating around the same spot. In this short clip, Nancy's observing the orb via the security camera's live feed on her phone. Mind you, that without the phone, she can't see anything in person. While looking at the live feed, she sees the ball of light moving frenetically. Watch. Now at one point, Nancy starts to communicate with the orb. She tells it to touch her hand when something pretty interesting happens. The orb quickly moves away from her hand as though she had scared it. Nancy decides to leave this mysterious orb alone and call it a day. The orb continues to fly around the same spot even after she goes. But only minutes later, after rechecking the camera, the orb is no longer there. It has simply vanished. Ever since recording this, the orb hasn't shown itself again. Nancy believes that this mysterious orb might have been the spirit of a child, as it kept floating around her son's toys. Perhaps it just wanted to play with them, as Nancy states. But whatever it might have been, she claims that this mysterious orb was intelligent as it responded to everything she did. To this day, she still questions what this ball of light was doing inside her son's bedroom. If you caught something creepy on camera, or if there's any ghost videos you'd like me to check out and include in the next compilation, you can send them over to scaryvideos444@gmail.com. That being said, let's get back to the video. There's an apartment in Poland where something very strange has been going on. The man who lives there claims that whenever he's by himself, he can't help but feel as though someone else is inside. When his roommates are gone and he has the place to himself, weird noises happen out of nowhere. Now what makes these occurrences extra strange is that they always seem to happen during the nighttime. Knowing when they usually occur, the man has his phone ready in hand and proceeds to record the following video. No one else is home when this is captured.
ogólnie to od jakiegoś czasu cały czas coś właśnie takie dziwne hałasy.
Mysteriously, the bathroom faucet is left running as though someone or something had turned it on. The man shuts it off while seeming confused as to how it turned on by itself. He heads back to his room when eerily the light switch, which he just turned on, is immediately turned off. It seems that whoever or whatever was at the other end of the hall had switched off the light. Now this wouldn't be the end of it, as a few nights later, something just as creepy happens. It's nighttime when the man recording hears banging noises outside his door. With his heart pounding in his ears, he records this.
Ja, kid.
Like something straight out of a horror movie, the man peeks out from his bedroom, peering into the darkness of the hallway to see if anyone's there. Finding nobody inside the bathroom, the man quickly walks back to his room, but stops in his tracks upon noticing the sudden mess in the kitchen. Appearing as though a massive earthquake had struck the place, the man runs back into his room in full terror before ending the video. What happened that night has left him shaken up. It's unknown if the man continues to live inside the apartment, as no updates or new videos have been posted. But as with most videos, I'll let you come up with your own conclusions. Is something living inside this man's apartment? Or might there be an explanation for all that's happened? In this next video, two friends are hosting a live stream when something pretty spooky is captured live. Now the two boys in this video often do live streams while playing video games late at night. It just so happens that this particular incident took place during an all-nighter, where around 5 in the morning, a strange noise is heard in the kitchen. The two usually play in the living room, so the noise was close by when it happened. The boys thought it was a family member who was grabbing a morning snack, so they shrugged it off and didn't think much of it. But later on, something happens that grabs their full attention and prompts them to end the live stream immediately. While playing in the dark, this happens. At first, the fridge door seemingly opens on its own, as though someone had gone over to grab a snack. At least that's what the two boys thought, considering that one of them has a brother who wakes up around this time to cook something up. Thinking that he left the fridge door open by accident, one of them gets up to close it. But as they walk back, this happens. The chair swiftly moves on its own by more than a few inches, causing both friends to freeze in their tracks. It was at this point that they both knew that something unexplainable had occurred. Something supernatural. Viewers believe so too. But, as always, I'll let you be the judge on that. Had something paranormal occurred? Or had something else happened here? Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Until next time.
They said wizardry only appears in fairy tales, but when you arrange some mystical-looking words in a certain order, miracles start to happen. Homes come alive, cars move on their own. Isn't it real?
I don't think so.
Come on, and what about food that comes by itself?
You mean by a huge team of developers?
I'm telling you, it is pure magic.
What did you do to me? I don't know. Maybe it's magic?
Or maybe it's just the effort of millions of developers empowered by the right tools.
Get brains ideas. Make it happen with code.
The following footage was posted by Vanessa Boleyn, who had caught something disturbing on her doorbell camera. Vanessa writes, I grew up in a haunted home with paranormal investigators and priests constantly coming to my house, so I don't get that scared easily. But last night, I saw this through my Ring camera at 11:30 p.m., and it was the only time that I truly felt scared. This is what she's seen. Be sure to look closely, or you'll miss it. A faint image of what appears to be a face can be seen hiding behind the flowers. It's hard to make out what this is, but it seems like someone or something is looking at the doorbell camera. But as always, I'll let you decide as to what this might be. What exactly is being seen on camera? It's the middle of the night, and O-Deject is on his phone when something downright creepy happens. In the corner of his room, there's a doll. O-Deject writes, I was on my phone in my room when I heard something. This is what he caught. The doll appears to have moved by itself. Now, it could be that gravity was responsible for this, but whether or not this was something paranormal, the video is still nonetheless pretty creepy. A dog and her owner are both home alone when the following happens. The owner who posted the video writes, Hazel has been growling for 10 minutes. I checked the security cameras to see if someone was outside, but there wasn't. So I decided to report her, as this isn't her normal behavior. This is what was caught.
There are spirits here. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus Christ. You must leave. You're not welcome here.
What is Hazel seeing, and what might be the reason as to why she's growling? It's believed that dogs can see things such as entities that we can.
but I'll let you decide as to whether or not she's actually seeing something. As always, feel free to let me know what you think. A garment factory in Japan has been experiencing strange activity. It was just recently that the factory's surveillance cameras had caught footage of the strange things that had been happening. When the owner of the factory had seen the footage, he was shocked. But he wasn't shocked for the reason you're probably thinking. The factory owner himself best explains the footage that was captured. Take a look.
っていうパートの人がいたんですけど、に亡くなってます。うちに来て20年ぐらいになるんで、結構ベテランで、他のパートさんからも好かれてるような感じでした。動いてるミシンが使っていたミシンなんですよね。なんで、パートさんの間では、来てしようとしてるつもりなんじゃないかとか、このマネキンも夜に急に動き出したら怖いよねとか、ふざけて服を着せたりもしてましたし、お気に入りでしたね。
The factory owner believes that if the ghost of Miss Tanaka is behind all these strange occurrences, then it isn't necessarily bad. After all, Miss Tanaka seems to be truly missed by her co-workers. These strange occurrences are probably the closest thing to having Miss Tanaka around one more time. The following segment features a set of videos of strange occurrences that have taken place inside a home. Very little information is given on these videos, but each one speaks for itself. Each video was shot in a room where most of the activity takes place. It is for this reason that a camera was placed inside to capture these strange occurrences. However, it seems that with each occurrence, the activity gets worse. Out of all incidents, the fifth occurrence is probably the creepiest. This is what was captured.
Алло, привет. Ты возьмешь что-нибудь приедешь, нет? Во сколько? Ага, ладно, все, давай.
It's the last occurrence that's hard to explain. Somehow, the garment in the basket appears to throw itself into the washer. It could be that the video is playing in reverse, making it seem as though it threw itself in, but it actually fell into the basket. But even if the video wasn't reversed, it doesn't explain how the laundry fell into the basket on its own. Viewers can't seem to explain this final clip, but what do you think? Had a poltergeist been caught on camera, or was it something else? General Shim is resting on his rooftop when he sees something that leaves him terrified. General Shim writes, "I just wanted to loiter on my house's rooftop because the breeze there is soothing and fresh, but little did I know that someone else would be there with me." This is what he saw. General Shin hopes that this was just a coconut on a tree. But what do you see? Could this be a case of pareidolia, or an actual sinister-looking entity? A family buys a doll from a thrift store, but ever since buying it, there's been nothing but strange occurrences taking place inside their home. They believe that the doll is haunted and is therefore responsible for the strange activity that's been happening. From toys turning on by themselves to things moving on their own, the family is stuck in a house that they believe is haunted. The family has no idea as to how they could stop the strange activity. But then one day, a friend of the family suggested that they light a white candle by the doll in the hopes that doing so would stop the activity. They do just that, but something very strange happens. The family sets up a camera in front of the doll to capture anything unusual that happens. This is what they caught. The candlelight mysteriously gets brighter, but unfortunately, this had no effect on the strange activity. Things only appear to get worse. But then one day, the strangest incident happens. The daughter is playing with the doll, and the following is caught on camera. If you listen closely, you can almost hear what sounds like a slap. The daughter even says that she was hurt. But what do you think? Did the doll actually slap her? Or was it something else? Aim Arcade posted the following video and writes, "We should have listened to the dog and not gone downstairs. This is what they caught on camera." Until they decide to approach this person that they see what it is that they're yelling at. What they saw left them more disturbed than before. This is what they caught.
There appears to be a small, shadowy figure manifesting and disappearing at the same time. I'll leave it to you to decide as to whether or not this was something paranormal. As always, what are your thoughts? A security camera records a child who was inside a crib when something downright creepy is captured. The child's mother had posted the following video as she doesn't know what to make of it. She was in the same room as her son when out of nowhere he began to cry. It wasn't until watching the footage that she was left disturbed. The mother writes, "I'm still trying to figure out if the camera glitched or something pushed my baby. This is what was caught." The child, all of a sudden, disappears from the camera's view. It appears that he was pushed over forcefully. The question is, though, what exactly had pushed him over? The cradle in the back continues to swing as the child vanishes from the frame, suggesting that this wasn't a glitch. If it was, then the swing would have skipped the frame, just like the child had. But, as you can see, not a single frame is skipped. So then, if this wasn't a glitch, then what was it? No one else is seen in the room except the mother and child, and nothing appears to have pushed him over. As with all videos, it's up to you to decide if this is something paranormal or not. The child's mother has yet to figure that out. But as always, feel free to share what you think. Chucho Gutierrez is a nurse who works at a hospital in Veracruz, a city in Mexico. It's 3 in the morning, and Chucho is filming his colleagues who are currently on break. But, as he records them, something disturbing is seen in the background.
Son a las 3 de la mañana. Mírala, tomando memes como siempre.
A child seen walking down the hall, but there's something off about this child. Moments later, it reappears, but this time crawling on all fours. Perhaps this might have been a patient of the hospital who passed away. A spiritual cleanse might help with getting rid of those who've died, but whose presence still lingers.
So this is your first time buying a home?
Yeah, this is our first time doing any of this.
Everything's in the email I sent you the other day.
The email?
And if you haven't looked at it yet, let's go through it together.
Expertise is one of the many ways an agent who's a realtor works for you.
Ashley Rain and her fiancé are away from home when their security camera inside their apartment captures something disturbing. Ashley writes, "We were moving out of our apartment and caught this on our camera. My cat won't take its eyes off of it. This is what she caught."
something peeking at the cat from behind the doorway, but it does so in a very strange manner. It seems to be peeking sideways, with its hands gripping the doorway's frame on one side. But, as if that wasn't creepy enough, it seems to ascend and then disappear. Both Ashley and her fiance have no clue as to what this could have been. Now, this could be someone who had broken into their apartment, but there's something odd about this person, and what they do seems physically impossible for anyone to do. It's a good thing Ashley is moving out, as I doubt she'd want to stay there after seeing this. Morales, Debbie, and her friends are tubing through a canal when they capture something creepy on camera. The video was taken on July 8th of 2018, but prior to this date, about 5 years ago, someone had drowned in the same canal that Morales is in. Little does she know that she and her friends would capture something disturbing. Take a look. It was only after posting the video on Facebook and being told by viewers about this that she noticed. Viewers think that the title was a ghost of the victim who had drowned. Others think that this could have been something else, perhaps a creature. No one knows for sure, but it seems like more people believe that this might be the spirit of the deceased. But of course, what are your thoughts? Ghost or not? My friend Audrey told me her daughter had a friend she played with, thinking just an imaginary friend. Audrey couldn't believe how fast her daughter's room would get messy right after cleaning it. So as her daughter was in the room talking to herself, Audrey decided to take a photo. Later that night, Audrey was skimming through the photos, and this is what was in the photo. Audrey also adds that if you look closely, there appears to be a floating head by the closet doorway. Now, I know some people are against this, but maybe using a Ouija board might help in finding out if your child is playing with a ghost. But it's probably best to seek help elsewhere, as reaching out to the dead seems like a bad idea. Bailey B works at an old theater that is said to be haunted. Although Bailey loves his job, there's something about it he wishes he could change. He often works at night, and he doesn't like this. For some reason, whenever Bailey's on stage, he can't help but feel like there's someone there. It almost feels like there's someone watching him. It's for this reason that he often records while working. But then one night, Bailey receives a notification that a sensor has detected motion inside the theater. Bailey writes, "This is the scariest thing that has ever happened to me. I might quit." This is what he captured.
It's 9 p.m. on a Saturday. This is my life. So I'm walking through the main stage. Here, I'll flip it. Okay. Ghost light is on. No one in here. Hello?
Bailey was in total shock and was trying to process what he'd seen. Now, it could be that someone had broken in and decided to seat themselves on the balcony. But given the history of this place, which has had numerous paranormal occurrences, Bailey can't shake the thought of this being a ghostly encounter. But if anything, Bailey can rest assured that he isn't losing his mind, as what he captured on camera shows that someone or something was actually watching him. The following video was submitted by Maria, who had caught her dog acting very strange. Maria writes, "It's been several days that my dog's been acting strange. She doesn't want to go to her bed, and she seemed so scared to the point she started shaking. So tonight, I decided to record her, and this is what I captured. For some reason, Maria's dog can't help but shake whenever she's near a specific room in the house. Now, it's obvious that her dog is shaking out of fear, but the real question is why? What might be the reason as to why she's behaving like this? Maria believes that a ghost might be responsible for her dog's strange behavior. Given the belief that some pets can see things humans can't, could it be that she's actually seeing something? Now, what's even more creepy about this is that Maria claims to have caught the ghost on camera. According to her, there appears to be a face by the door. If you look closely, you'll be able to see it. What exactly was causing Maria's dog to act this way? Celia Santos had posted the following video on Facebook and states that something terrifying had occurred at a mall in Brazil. The video was taken at 2:30 in the morning by a security guard who works there. He was sure that he was the only person inside until he saw the following. The security guard had reported this in the hopes that people would believe him when telling them about this terrifying encounter. This is what he caught. There appears to be a little girl on the escalator, who then disappears moments later. Now, this could have been an actual child, but what's a child doing inside a mall at 2 in the morning? I can't think of anything to explain this, other than this being a child who was accidentally locked inside. Now, what's even more strange about this is that the escalator was powered off during the time of this recording. Knowing this, it doesn't make sense that the child was able to travel up smoothly without taking a single step. All in all, this one's pretty creepy. Fernando Victor works at a train station. What he does there specifically is unknown. But regardless of his task, he always seems to have late-night shifts. However, it was during a late-night shift when Fernando captures something terrifying on camera. Fernando and 2 other workers are walking beside a train that isn't in operation, when all of a sudden, he captures this without even noticing. Someone, or something, appears to be looking at Fernando as he records them. What do you think this might have been? Viewers believe that this may have been the ghost of someone who was involved in a railroad accident. Now, it could be that this was actually a person, but if it were, then how come this supposed person looks so creepy? I don't know, but whoever this is looks too dead to be alive. Whoever, or whatever this is, remains a mystery. A father takes his wife and child to a theme park, and while recording them, captures something pretty creepy. The father states that after coming back from the theme park, his daughter told him that she was scared of going back. But it wasn't because she was afraid of the rides, but because of something else. It was only after looking back at the footage he took that he understood why his daughter was so afraid. This is what he caught. Be sure to look closely, or you'll miss it. Right behind his daughter, there appears to be a hand coming out of nowhere. The scariest part about this, though, is the fact that it seems to be reaching out to her. But something else was caught on camera that also went unnoticed. Earlier in the video, the father is recording a boat that's passing by, when out of nowhere, he captures this. I honestly have no explanation for this, but I have plenty of questions. I can't help but think that this might have been the same hand that appears later on. But what's even more creepy about this is that it seems to be trying to get the father's attention. Or could it be that it was trying to get the daughter's? There has yet to be an explanation for this, but as always, what are your thoughts? Alia's lawn is inside an abandoned house that's located in the middle of nowhere. There have only been a couple of people who've checked out this place, but not a single person had caught anything as unusual as Ollie had when he paid a visit to this house. Ollie is exploring the place when all of a sudden, this happens. Now, it's worth mentioning that during the time of this recording, it was raining. It could be that the strange noises were actually caused by the storm outside. That could be the case, but what happens afterward, as Ollie exits the house, is beyond explanation. What he caught on camera is perhaps the creepiest encounter he's had. Be sure to pay close attention, or you'll miss it. Ollie doesn't know what to make of this, but if there's one thing that most viewers can agree on, it's that this person, or thing, was most likely observing Ollie during the time he was inside. If that's not creepy, then I don't know what is. Ryan Pulse writes, "So I was just sitting at home alone, the parents were out, and I kept hearing the weird sounds again. But this time, I decided to record for a change. And this is what I caught."
creepy.
This one crazy.
Whoa! Oh my. Oh.
Phone's upstairs. Oh my God. I swear I seen something.
Perhaps this might have been a stranger who broke in, intruder or ghost. It's unknown as to who or what was inside Ryan's house. Ellen Melbergstead is on her way to a doctor's appointment and is taking a shortcut through a park to get there. The video takes place in Sweden during the winter time, so it's mostly dark during the day. As she's on her way to the hospital, Ellen takes out her phone and begins to record. But little does she know that she's about to capture something downright creepy. Check this out. It was only after viewers had pointed this out that Ellen had noticed it. There appears to be a figure peeking at Ellen from behind a tree. It's unclear as to who or what this might have been, but viewers think that this could have been a ghost. Whatever it might have been, Ellen will most likely be taking a different route from now on. Grisel Luna is conducting a paranormal investigation at a place where human remains were found. The site has been abandoned for a while and is known to be a hotspot for paranormal activity. While checking out one of the rooms inside the building, this happens.
Vamos a iniciar por esta. Vamos a ver qué es lo que hay aquí. Se ve que hay algunos muebles antiguos que ya están llenos de tierra, que ya están... ¡Ay! ¡No, no, no! ¡Viste, Melissa se movió! Llenos de tierra, que ya están... ¡Ay! ¡No, no, no! ¡Viste, Melissa se movió! Dios mío, pero ya acabamos de llegar, se estaba moviendo, ¿verdad? Yo vi cómo que se movió esto.
Later on, Grisel goes outside and finds something pretty disturbing.
Pero no lo agarres. ¿Qué es esto? ¡Ay, Dios! Pues...
I'm not sure if picking up the bone was a good idea, because what happens next might have been the result of having done so.
Porque es momento de retirarnos, porque... ¡Ay, no mames, no mames, no mames! ¡Ay, güey! ¡No mames!
It's not clear as to what happened here, but whatever occurred, I'm sure it wasn't good, as given by the history of this place. Facebook user Yingy Vong writes, "So something crazy happened tonight. My motion activated security camera turned on. I grabbed my phone to see a live feed of what was happening outside. I couldn't believe what I saw. Talk about Ghost Rider. If the tricycle hadn't stopped and turned, I would have guessed the wind moved it. But, as you can see, that doesn't seem to be the case. Susie Somori lives in a 3-story house with lots of stairs and several rooms. Out of all the rooms, there's one in particular that she stays away from. On the 3rd floor, there's a large, vacant room with a painting of a sun on one of its walls. She doesn't know why, but there's something about this painting that makes her feel very uneasy. It might be the ambience of the room, but she can't help but feel like the painting is responsible for the dreaded feeling she gets whenever she walks in. So, thinking it's all in her head, she tries her best to ignore this feeling. But then, one night, Susie encounters something that scared the living daylights out of her. Susie is home alone when she captures the following on camera. Susie ends the video there, but little does she know that things were about to get worse. One day, Susie's niece is playing inside the room, and, while spying on her, she captures this. Her niece appears to be talking to the painting, as though she's having a conversation with it. Susie didn't like this, and so she asked her as to who she was talking to. This is what she said.
Did you like him?
Yeah. Gilbert's like one of my best friends.
Where did he come from?
I don't know. I think the man that used to live here painted it.
Is Gilbert friendly? Does he speak to you?
Yeah.
What does he say?
Susie doesn't know what to make of this. It seems that her niece had befriended Gilbert, the painting on the wall. She's made an imaginary friend, but the thing said by this so-called friend doesn't sit well with Susie. And so, she decides to spy on her once more. But this time, she captures something even more strange. Her niece appears to be looking for something underneath the floorboard. It was only after her niece had fallen asleep that she decided to investigate the spot. She checks it out and ends up finding something disturbing. Take a look. Needless to say, Susie was speechless. What's more strange about this is the Ouija board itself. If you look closely, the board appears to have the same painting of the sun that's on the wall. This can't be a coincidence. Susie is certain that the board is somehow connected to the painting. This unsettling discovery has led Susie into researching the history of her home. And, after much research, she found this.
Here is a photo of the house from 1960 and it was built in 1982. This would be the first or one of the first families to live in this house. As you can see, there are 6 people present in the photo. Looking at the English census records, I found that the father would be called John, and the mother was called Maud. Next to on the balcony, there's a daughter Dorothy. The little boy called Gilbert was also registered here in 1911. So he would be about 5 or 6 in this photo. I'm unsure why he's not with the rest of his family in the photo, what they did to him. I just have an overwhelming feeling of something really terrible happened to him at the hands of his own family. The word is perhaps that this is where the second painting is situated in the house. That's his room.
Gilbert was the name of a child who used to live in her house and whose room has a painting of the sun, which seems to have been named after him. She has yet to post more info on the history of her home. For now, she continues researching in the hopes of putting an end to this mystery. Is Gilbert the supposed ghost that talks to her niece? Or is it something else? A group of friends are at a fair, riding the pirate ship Right, when one of them captures something disturbing on camera. The person who caught this writes, "Before coming to this fair, I've heard stories of a woman who had tragically died after falling off from one of the rides here. But that was many years ago." This video was taken in 2008 at around 10 p.m. This is what was captured. Be sure to pay close attention to the background or you'll miss it. At first, there are 4 people sitting next to each other, but then a few seconds later, there's one less person. It appears that the passenger on the left has disappeared. The man recording this has no idea as to who she is, and still doesn't know to this day. However, he can't help but think that this might have been the woman who had tragically died at this fair many years ago. Viewers think so too, and have even pointed out that her face looks injured in a couple of frames. Now that's creepy. But of course, what do you think? Was a ghost caught on camera? Or was this all just an illusion? As always, feel free to let me know what you think. My husband works nights at a high school that was built in 1877. He's always told me it's been haunted, and he has seen and heard weird stuff. But with the schools being closed since COVID, things have been a little strange recently. Last night, they had some construction workers in, and one of the guys was freaking out because he said someone kept whispering in his ear, and he didn't seem to believe my husband when he said that the school was haunted. Later, one of my husband's colleagues saw something in his peripheral vision a couple of times, so he took a picture where he kept seeing it. This is what he caught on camera.
This is that one kid who slept in class and nobody woke up. In all seriousness though, this photo remains a mystery, but I can't help but think that the history of the school might give an explanation to this image. All in all, this photo is pretty creepy. Emax is a ghost hunter on YouTube who explores abandoned places. Not too long ago, he explored an abandoned hospital in Taiwan where he encountered strange activity. He decides to revisit that same hospital in the hopes of capturing more activity, and he actually does, but it may have been more than he expected. There's no doubting that Emax was left feeling spooked, but all of this pales in comparison to what happens next. Coming back to this place might have upset the ghost that haunts it. Slamming the door repeatedly kind of makes it seem like it was irritated by Emax's return. With activity like this, it makes you wonder if a poltergeist was present, or if it was something else. If you caught something creepy on camera, or if there's any ghost videos you'd like me to check out and include in the next compilation, you can send them over to scaryvideos444@gmail.com. That being said, let's get back to the video. Marlene White is inside her bathroom when she captures something really creepy on camera. Marlene writes, "Please tell me that I'm not crazy." Here's the video she posted, along with the text-to-speech voice that she uses to explain what's going on.
What the hell is this? I only have one baby at my house today. The rest of them are with Grandpa. You can clearly hear my baby in the living room crying. I was on the toilet when I felt like something was watching me. I've been on edge ever since I took a picture and my dad was behind me by the door. So I decided to turn the camera on and record. This is not my dad. I don't know what it is. I know you've seen it move before and after I gasped.
Who are you? Hello?
Now, it kind of looks like someone is standing inside. Maybe it's one of her children. But Marlene disproves this notion by showing us what it would actually look like if one of her children were standing inside.
Stand in the shower real quick so I can show people something, please. Shut the door. Bang! Colorful, boy. Okay. You get out. Come here, child. This is literally what you guys do. There's no way. There's no way.
Marlene has no idea as to what this might be, but viewers can't help but think that this might have been a ghost. But what do you think?
Soap's gone.
Ghost or illusion?
Soap's gone.
If you hate dolls, then you'll probably want to skip this one, as what's captured in it is terrifying. A girl is playing with her doll when the following happens. Be sure to pay close attention to the doll, or you'll miss it.
How was this video to you? Good? Okay, thank you. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Kellyanna. Alright, let's go. So, Kellyanna, what?
As she plays with her toy, the doll moves its head all on its own. Now, it could be that the doll has a built-in feature that allows it to move, but based on how she reacted upon seeing this, it seems like this wasn't a feature built into the doll. Viewers seem to agree and suggest that the doll is haunted, but as always, I'll let you be the judge of that. The video you're about to see was posted by Andy Winehouse, who in a follow-up video recorded this.
And for anybody asking, this is my family home. I grew up here. And we never had a single experience like this. I don't know what is going on. I'm getting a lot of comments saying I'm doing it for views. And I'm doing it for likes. I promise you I'm not. Don't like the video, don't comment if you don't want to. I just need somebody who knows what this is. Please reach out. I don't care if it's in a comment or privately, please reach out. And please just help me. I don't know what to tell my wife when she gets home. I can't afford a hotel for the night. We're doing a remodel in the bathroom. And everything's just going to boom right now. And I'm not trying to be dramatic about this, but I have no idea what to do. And everybody in the comments all day has just been freaking me out. And I want to think this is just in my head, but I keep listening to it over and over and over again. So somebody please reach out with an answer or some help or something.
As you can tell by the video, Andy is in total shock and cannot process the strange incident that took place inside his home. Luckily, he was able to record this incident in case no one believed him. Andy writes, "I don't know what to do at this point. Things got weird last night, and I had to sleep in my car. I am safe, but I am not doing well, and I need help." This is what he caught. Andy can rest assured that he's not losing his mind, as the video shows that someone or something is mimicking his own voice. It's up to you to decide as to whether or not something supernatural was caught on camera. Andy is certain that he did. But for now, the video remains a mystery, and is left open to interpretation. Laura Honnigan posted the following video after capturing footage of something creepy on her baby monitor. Her daughter is resting in her crib, and Laura all of a sudden gets a bad feeling. She promptly runs to her daughter's room and sees that she's okay. But little does she know that something was captured on her baby monitor before she had entered the room. It's worth mentioning that no one was upstairs at the time of this recording. Laura writes, "I'm f***ing terrified. This is what was caught."
Is this 28-7 Kentucky Brendan to go up even more? If he's well aware of the episode of some things of pressure, he said, listen.
It appears that a pair of legs were caught on camera. Here's a follow-up video Laura had made in response to this creepy footage.
There was legs that were walking, it looked like legs, that were walking out of her room. And her window is locked. There's no other entrance to that room, literally. And you never seen nothing going in. It just was legs going out. You see me come in, come out, and then you see those legs go out, and then you see me come upstairs, get her, and go out.
Laura doesn't know what to make of this. What's strange about this is that whoever, or whatever this was, appears to have come out of nowhere, as no signs of entry were seen in the daughter's room. It could be that a squatter was hiding in the house, given the fact that most squatters tend to hide in places like the attic. Perhaps that's where they came from. But of course, I'll leave it to you to figure this one out. Was a ghost caught on camera? Or had something else been captured? Rewatch the clip and decide for yourself. The following footage shows someone who's by himself inside a gym when something terrifying happens. Emily Ruiz, who suggested the video, writes, "Words cannot explain this disturbing footage. The person in the video had obtained this recording from the gym and sent it to a friend who we hear speaking in the video. This is what was captured."
Es que pasaron cosas muy extrañas en la madre, hasta una máquina se movió. Vea, mire, explíqueme eso, vea, dos cuerdas y que vas a ver, mami, la otra quieta, o sea, no podemos decir que es el aire, ni que hay ventilación, ni nada de esas vainas. Y en plena luz del día, ¿quién dice que estas maricadas pasan en plena luz del día? No, mire, la luz. Mire, ahí, mira eso, mira eso.
¿Y eso qué pasó? Porque eso se mueve.
Esa vaina es pesadísima, eso es pesadísimo.
Sí.
Sí, parece que eso es una energía muy mala.
Ay, Dios mío, ¿qué le pasó?
Mamá.
No, Dios, no, no, eso no es normal. Eso no es normal, no. Ay, Dios mío. ¿Y eso qué pasó? Porque eso se mueve.
Esa vaina es pesadísima, eso es pesadísimo.
Sí.
Sí, parece que eso es una energía muy mala.
Ay, Dios mío, ¿qué le pasó?
Mamá.
No, Dios, no, no, eso no es normal. Eso no es normal, no. Ay, Dios mío, ¿qué le pasó?
Mamá.
No, Dios, no, eso no es normal. Eso no es normal, no.
Those who've seen the footage were left unsettled by this terrifying encounter. At the start of the video, we can see that someone or something is peeking at this person. This is something you might have missed. Now, it's worth mentioning that another camera had recorded this from a different angle. By looking at this specific footage, we can see that the facility has open windows. It could be that the wind from outside the room was causing the ropes to move on their own. But if that were the case, then other things in the room should have moved as well, especially the towel on the box, which appears light enough to move just a bit, but it doesn't. The wind could also explain the ball's movement, but mind you, this is a medicine ball. It would take more than just a gust of wind to be able to move something this heavy. But what's even more baffling about this footage is how the person gets dragged across the floor. It could be that he was doing this on his own, moving his body in such a way to make it seem as though he were being dragged. However,
A closer look at this scene shows that he was jerked in a forceful manner, which is almost impossible to do on one's own. Other things in the video remain questionable, such as lights turning off on their own, or whatever this is. I'll leave it to you to come up with your own conclusion on this footage. Feel free to let me know what you think. Katrina Pariso had taken a photo of herself while being at home with no one else around. She had the house to herself, or so she thought. It was after having taken a selfie that she realized that she wasn't alone. This is the photo she took. Now at first glance, nothing unusual stands out. That is, until you brighten up the image and see that someone is behind her. Katrina swears that she was home alone when she took this, but apparently she wasn't. Katrina believes that a ghost had photobombed her picture, and she also thinks that this may have been her brother who had passed away years ago. She isn't sure if that's him though, as it appears to have long hair, which he didn't have. She has yet to figure out what this might have been. But one thing's for sure though, this photo has left Katrina spooked, and still keeps her up at night. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Happy holidays, and take care.
No matter what type of severe asthma you have, Tespire can help you have fewer attacks and relieve your asthma symptoms. Tespire is an add-on treatment for people.
A child is woken up late at night and does something that has left its parents completely disturbed. This footage was taken in the middle of the night when all of a sudden, this happens.
I'd ditch that kid. I would ditch that kid right in the trash. You gotta get a new kid.
Somehow, the child maintains a perfect balance as it reaches out towards something. Viewers believe that it's reaching out to a paranormal entity inside the room. Whether it's malicious or not is unknown, but given the situation the child is in, some believe that a sinister presence was responsible for the child's behavior. Although we don't know for sure if it's something paranormal, the piercing scream of the child is without a doubt pretty chilling. Not much else is known about the video, but the footage itself is enough for us to know that what happened that night is beyond strange. A man is woken up by a mysterious noise when something very strange is caught on camera. This video was posted about 9 months ago, and the person who recorded this says that while spending the night at his aunt's house, which is very old, unusual events took place. This is the video he took.
Still heard noises.
Jesus Christ.
A child's voice is heard close to the camera. In a frantic motion, the person recording fled from the room and headed straight to his car upon hearing whispers coming out of nowhere. Not much else is known about the video, which makes it even more mysterious. But even without it, the encounter itself is scary alone. A security guard named Simon Lockhart works the night shift at a hotel. The hotel is believed to be haunted, as there have been multiple reports of paranormal sightings. One night, while being on duty, Simon checks on a noise that seems to be coming from an attic space inside the hotel. He goes in and encounters something pretty strange. Watch.
I'm over at the restaurant right now that's connected to our hotel. The door's been wide open. And they said they've seen the lights going on and off in here. The attic area. Very, very narrow stairs. I just smashed my head on this freaking pipe. Hello? Oh my. There's no one here. There's no one here. Nope. Nope. Okay. Okay, I'm out. I'm out. Okay, just leave me alone.
Simon was immediately rushed to the hospital after falling from the attic. He says that an unseen force had tugged on his shirt, but has no clue as to what exactly touched him. Even more strange is that before the so-called accident, he heard a clear voice say "get out" as soon as he entered the attic. Viewers believe that a spirit dwells inside and was upset with Simon for coming in. Simon agrees, as the attack was similar to that of someone who encounters a trespasser. This video was taken over a year ago, and it seems that paranormal activity still occurs at this hotel. Yet, out of all paranormal experiences Simon has had, this one has got to be the scariest.
Here's how to legally steal gasoline from gas stations. This programmer got fired from his job at a German car.
This next video comes from a man named Brandon Costa, who was woken up by a strange noise outside his room. He proceeds to take out his phone and record the strange event, but what he captures leaves him deeply unsettled. Now, according to Brandon, he had played with the Ouija board a few days before. Because of this, he believes that what happened that night was paranormal in nature.